I want to welcome you back to Black Site tonight. I want to talk to you about Boston Celtics head coach Ime Udoka's bad judgment. First, I would like for you to subscribe to this channel, hit that like button, hit that notification button, but also comment on this video. Boston Celtics head coach Ime Udoka has been suspended 1 year for violating team policy when it comes to women. But Ime Udoka wouldn't be the first man in historical context that makes this mistake. We can go all the way back to David and Bathsheba, Samson and Delilah. We can go all the way back to our former president, Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. Men of power make bad decisions, especially when it comes to vices they can't control. Ime Udoka has a problem, and this problem just didn't surface. He's a former NBA player. He's used to having his pick of the litter. He used to being out there in the streets with multiple women. And I believe this is not the first time this has happened in him and Nina Long's relationship. And Ime Udoka is just like most men who have money and power. They enjoy spreading their wings, especially when it comes to the women. This is why, if you notice, the whole NBA has gone silent. You haven't heard from one NBA player. The only person you heard from was Matt Barnes, who talked about that the situation was much worse than he thought earlier. But when it comes to this situation dealing with women, we all know how the NBA players get down. And yes, he was a former NBA player, now a coach. His bad decision that so many men make across this country, those with power and those without power, because of women, is a serious problem. And I don't think all these new rules and regulations will ever stop men from enjoying multiple women. This man was willing to ruin his whole career to get a fix for his vice. He didn't care about if he was going to get fired or suspended. He just wanted to fulfill that feeling that he has to have. And that's how it is with most men with power. This is why you see the owner of the Phoenix Suns, Robert Sarver, doing some of the most egregious things that you can think of in front of women. Because men with power and money are used to having their way. And there is usually no consequences for their bad actions. And in the time that Ime Udoka was having these relationships or basically unwanted relationships, he didn't feel that there were going to be any consequences for his actions, because in all the years he has been involved in professional sports, this is the way it has always been. So he carried on his activities. The bad judgment that he made all his life, now there's consequences. He can tell you stories of multiple NBA players and people in front office who was in the same situation he was, and there was no consequences at all. So it seems like he is the poster child for bad judgment, when probably most of the NBA is the poster child for bad judgment. Ime Udoka is the wrong person at the wrong time, even though he did wrong. But there's so many others that have done wrong. And you can't hear a word. Let me tell you something. NBA players talk so damn much on Twitter and other social media platforms. When they got something to say, you don't hear one word because most of them committed the same violations that Ime Udoka committed. And they all know it. So everybody is keeping their mouth shut because they don't want their names out in the public like Udoka. Men with power make bad decisions, especially when it comes to women. You have seen it in the Me Too movement. You have seen men being taken to court 30 and 40 years later for what they have done. But if you're going to castigate Ime Udoka, it's time that you bring out everybody else. Because he seems like he's taking all the heat for historical problems that the NBA has had in the past. I know the Celtics did an investigation and it's all on Ime, but there's nothing said about the woman. She is highly protected like she did nothing wrong. She engaged in the relationship. But there is nobody saying that she's going to be suspended. She gets to keep her job. Hell, she might even sue the Celtics for having a consensual relationship with Ime Udoka. His bad judgment is going to affect the rest of his life. He may never get another NBA job because he may never be trusted by an organization. He gave up everything to have a relationship, a simple relationship with a woman in which he could have had with thousands or millions outside the Celtics organization. His judgment will cost him his career because no college will hire him. Maybe an NBA team might hire him, but he will be under strict supervision for the fact that that team will not want to be sued because of what he has done in the past. Ime did all of this to fulfill a vice. He has a problem, like most men. But he's the one who's taken all the arrows in public for what he has done. I want to thank you for listening to Black Site. I hope you subscribe to this channel. Smash that like button, but also share this video.